Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 10th episode of Hibike Euphonium. In the last episode, we had our auditions that have been anticipated for so long. And luckily all the characters, okay, not all the characters, a lot of the characters did pass, right? There was just a couple of notable exceptions, like Natsuki. Her name was not called, and they showed a little bit of flashbacks and stuff to really twist that knife in. But that was on the Euphonium side. And that was a bit of a surprise to people because they were kind of thinking the Euphoniums would all pass because there's so few of them, but people tried to make it clear that wasn't necessarily the case, and it was not the case. So that happened on the Euphonium side. But on the trumpet side, I think it's going to be more relevant to this episode because we had a little bit of potential seeds of drama go on because Reina passed, right? That wasn't too surprising. She's amazing, right? And Claud passed, you know, the other people whose names I don't remember passed, but the part where it became an issue was that Reina was chosen to do these solo parts. And the second that was mentioned, our yellow ribbon girl, fangirl of Claud, had a very notable reaction to it, and even Claud had some, like, tear eyes as well. Like, she wasn't tearing up, but the eyes were encased in tear. I don't know what the word for that is, right? Like, just tears could start flowing any second. She had that kind of look, right? So it's very much making it clear that the expectation was that Claud would do it, you know, because she's a third year, right? And that's the thing. That was the big change here. The whole audition thing that kind of goes against the typical, you know, third years are just entitled to things on the basis of being third years. How dare a first year think they can take it instead? You know, that sort of thing. If you've seen a lot of anime, even A Place Further in the Universe kind of had that with the track field girl, right? Like, it's just that kind of attitude of senpai being entitled to things just because they're senpai. And even though this audition thing kind of prevents that, like on an official level, there's going to be some resentment, right? Hopefully there's not like straight up bullying Reina, because that's gonna upset me. Hopefully it's just on the level of a few rude comments here and there, but we'll see. We'll see. All I know is that, yeah, some people are definitely gonna express their unhappiness on that in this episode. I can almost guarantee that. So yeah, I think this intro's already been way too long. I didn't expect it to take that long. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's just get into the episode, right? Because yeah, this probably will be at least half be just the aftermath of the audition results, because there's a lot of emotions going around. So because I think we just kind of like got the tip of the iceberg emotion wise last episode. But anyway, let's just jump on in. So 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, those are the eyes I mentioned. She didn't say it. Yeah. Well, she said it last time. I don't even know how long that intro was, but it was definitely way too long. I'm just worried because there's so many potential issues here, because Reina to begin with doesn't exactly have a lot of friends in this club. So if she does end up on the wrong end of bullying, there's like not a lot there to help her aside from like just Kumiko, right? Only real friend she has in the club from what I can tell. So it could be I'm worried is what I'm trying to say. If this was Kaon, I wouldn't be worried. First, okay. We're back to this. I think that's just an issue with you. I mean, I was expecting that towards Reina. sort of thing is always so frustrating to watch because Kumiko literally did nothing wrong. She's just taking her butt out on her. It always frustrates me to see that. If only people that weren't better than me weren't around, I would get stuff. And I'm gonna blame other people for that. It's just so obnoxious. I would love to. This is nice. Okay. Ain't that the truth? Straight trumpet. Masugu. I know straight trumpet isn't referring to Reina. Okay. Yeah, well... Okay, just literally bring your blankets. Okay. Let's get some mofu time. You know, as opposed to fua time. Never mind. I mean, you can't say no to that. It was too cute to complain about. I mean, it's a little bit weird, but it's cute. I like it. Probably. No misses for the solo edition. So let's see how this goes. I'll take it. Just to let Reina see this. Just break right to it. But yeah, I can understand, given that one flashback, why Kumiko would assume the worst here, but... Yeah, it's still just unfortunate, regardless. But Otaki-sensei. Oh wow, that's a really cool visual. What it comes down to. She was worthy of it, so she got it. Let's play together. Go for gold. Uh-huh. This scene alone just did a lot to make me like her a lot more as a character. A lot more than I ever thought it would. It's gotta be a conspiracy. That's the only way you could possibly fail. That's all there is to it. It was rigged, I tell you. Go for gold together. Flashback. It's a lot of shoes. With the blankets? Okay. Did we ever explain what the blankets were for? Is it for like soundproofing or one big sleepover? I'd be okay with that. Okay. Gotcha. Yes, sir. Oh no, is she gonna make a scene? Why wasn't my Lord and Savior Coyote chosen? I knew that was a rumor they were talking about. So much for not spreading it. Yeah, because it just couldn't possibly be because Reina deserved it. That's just crazy. Like, does he look at the type that would do that? Seriously, ask yourself. Okay, not denying it. I mean, I kind of figured as much, so it really isn't that surprising. Don't break that chair. Okay, yeah. When they start insulting him, that's when she speaks up. Damn, just straight up saying it. Fight, fight, fight. Remember when I was asking if she was gonna make a scene? Well then. I mean, that the kind of thing was... I prefer that over the kind of more subtle bullying thing that I was worried about before. Like, I would gladly prefer this sort of public outburst sort of thing. I love you, Reina. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Okay. Was expecting that. Not at all. And if she hugged me like that, I wouldn't be able to deny anything she said. Phrasing. I mean, I doubt that's gonna go anywhere either way, but... And now I know why it was called Straight Trumpets. She is not wrong. I don't think you could be any more special if you tried right now. Man, are we really only halfway through the episode? Man, I feel like I just watched the whole episode. Yeah, I feel like it's going in a negative direction now. Just drinking his milk coffee. I mean, is there really much you could do to improve this kind of situation? Nothing I can think of. That wouldn't just make it worse. Almost anything he does, you could mental gymnastics into it, making it more suspicious if you wanted to. It's alright. Nah. Do I have to? Enjoy the music. Okay. Okay, that's what we're doing. Like jumping into a big pile of leaves, just jumping onto a big pile of blankets. I would do that too if I was in her position. Sense again a bit frustrated. Yeah, those are some names I'm not gonna remember. Well, I mean, I didn't expect her to look happy. Just that pose. Sitting posture. Just don't fall out that window, please. We really haven't gotten much Asuka-senpai this episode. It's a travesty. Why her? Oh, well, on what basis? I mean, if you say so, I guess so, but I feel like we're just jumping to an excuse to just push the job onto her, but yeah. I mean, we're given the job, I guess we'll do it, but okay, I was wondering if that was just a camera or if somebody was sneaking up on her. Maybe she does treat her a bit special. Yeah, I promise I'm not a stalker. Well, a certain yellow ribbon girl encouraged her not to. There's a cat's tail on my foot. I was wondering what that was. I've missed you, Asuka. Why did you not show up until now? I make no promises. Okay. That is pretty frank. Well, we asked. We got her answer. Did you have to leave already? Okay. It's my turn to talk to you. Okay, she's walking past her. At first I thought she was gonna like give her a hug or something. I don't know. And she got down there quick. You're my only friend, the copy machine. Right. Nice talk. Is he gonna yell at us again? Please shut up while I'm talking. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna address that. I would love to see how many people raise their hands. I mean, no kidding, but okay, it's like 4 or 5. Just kidding. Have to go to the bathroom, Sensei. I do respect her straightforwardness. Maybe she's probably the actual Masugu trumpet. Second round of auditions. Okay, really did not expect that. Yeah, just trying to get as fair as you could possibly be. It's not a bad idea. Anything to put a stop to all these petty, whispering, rumor nonsense. Did not know those were legs at first. Oh, is she okay? Looks like we're getting our first hand up. Not giving up. Okay. Guess we have our setup for next episode. This episode was kind of like half what I expected, half I didn't. It's probably the simplest way I can put it. There's a lot to keep track of in this show. One thing I've noticed. Because we have such a big cast. A lot of relationships amongst the cast too. If that makes sense. Interpersonal relationships. Everyone has their own issues going on. Yeah, I don't see that string attached to Sensei now, do I? Just saying. And yep, that is that. Okay. Well, that was the 10th episode of Hibike Euphonium. Man, where do we even start with this? I mean, I was somewhat right with people not being super accepting of Arena getting the part, right? What I didn't really account for was the biggest thing being the favoritism angle, right? Because, okay, for one thing, I did figure that I didn't know necessarily how deep it ran, but I knew there was some history between Reina and Taki, right? Her outburst in that one scene, you know, the scene by the river or whatever, right? When she calls him cool or something. But that scene, right? That made it pretty clear that there was something there history-wise, and we finally got like some full-on elaboration on that in this episode, which is good. What's not so good is that the rumors are now flying around, because if you're upset, butthurt, about the results of the audition, and you get like a nice little straw to grab onto, such as a potential favoritism angle, you have a funnel for to channel your butthurt, your undue resentment through, right? So, yeah, as soon as the people that were unhappy had that to latch onto, just rumors spread like wildfire, and it just gets really out of hand, right? So, yeah, just rather than, the first year angle, which is more what I was expecting to be the real focus point, it was more on the potential favoritism angle, which is probably the biggest aspect of it that I did not expect going into it. But aside from that, it was more or less what I expected, I would say. I mean, as far as things that weren't expected, I think one of the biggest unexpected things was Natsuki's interactions with Kumiko this episode. Like, man, okay. Like, what do we know about Natsuki, right? She's obviously pretty apathetic about playing the instrument, like, for a while. She was one of those type that weren't really gung-ho on practice and whatnot, but because of the course of events of the show, she kind of got a bit of a boost of motivation. She was trying to do a little bit harder, working a bit harder, right? We had that, but for the most part, yeah, she was more of a like apathetic kind of character, right? But this episode, it almost like they had like an injection of pep, of Genki, right? She's just like getting all excited to hang out with Kumiko and stuff, which that confused me a little bit, but it was all really cute. I really enjoyed watching it. But yeah, once they got into Kumiko's potential concerns, which is something I actually didn't even think about because I was too focused on Reina, because that was kind of the note we ended off the episode on, with the big old zoom in on her face and all that. But yeah, there was also Kumiko, who passed and Natsuki didn't. So, Kumiko being who she is, it does make sense that she would have some feelings in regards to that, some guilt and whatnot, which is, of course, amplified because of that one scene we saw at the very beginning of the episode, which I think we saw, like, a partial clip of that in the previous episode. I don't know if that was the first time we saw it or not, but I do remember it from that. The kind of thing I was expecting Reina to deal with, right? The typical, you Namaiki first year, who do you think you are, being in my way? Don't you know I'm a third year? Just how dare you take it from me? That sort of thing. Kumiko apparently had to deal with that before, and yeah, that would definitely lower your motivation to continue doing something, that kind of experience. But yeah, Natsuki, even though the very similar circumstances, Natsuki took it a lot better, right? Because she's just better person. I'll go as far as to say that. Yeah, this scene, this episode, it did a lot to make me like Natsuki a lot more. Like, I didn't care too much about her one way or the other. Like, especially early on, like, because she was one of the unmotivated type, I didn't like her too much. But at this point, after everything that's happened, you know, her surge of motivation, working a bit harder, and also going this far to make sure Kumiko's, you know, not upset or whatever, right? Doing a lot to ease her concerns. Like, after all that, I like her a lot more now, for sure. So I'm glad we got all that. So that was a bit more positive than what we got on the Kaori Yellow Ribbon Girl front, right? Because she's Kaori's #1 fan. She's a 3rd year. Unlike Natsuki, who got, like, you know, a recent resurgence and motivation to practice, Kaori, I guess, has probably been working a lot harder for a lot longer, right? A lot more serious about it, a lot more invested. So, yeah, it's kind of probably hits her a lot harder than it hit Natsuki. And we actually had Yellow Ribbon Girl doing a lot to kind of like be upset for her, which is interesting. Because some of the stuff that she says, you got to imagine Kaori's feeling. She's just not the type to really voice that, to make a big scene. That just, these two have very different personalities. I kind of got that impression. But she really does urge her to not give up and all that. Right, I can't even really be too mad at Yellow Ribbon Girl. Like, I kind of wanted to, just because what's the best word for it? I mean, I'm not gonna call her an antagonist or anything, but obviously she's not happy about Reina succeeding, right? So she's sort of an antagonist-ish kind of role as a result. Like, she's not really on our side, so as a result, that's how it is. But even despite that, though, I couldn't really be too mad at her, because she was just so straightforward, you know, voicing her opinions. Like, she's not like sneaky in the shadows, trying to, you know, like, I don't know the best way to describe it. The point is, she just, the way she goes about it, I can't hate her too much, is kind of what I'm trying to say. But she did make a scene. That was actually quite the scene. Unfortunately, it did cause, like, rumors. That was a big part of why the rumors started spreading. That was probably the biggest point of anger I have towards her. Like, was that there, right? I mean, it's not like spreading the rumors was the goal there. It's just like she didn't care enough not to. She didn't care enough not to say what she wanted to say, right? So... But I would have loved just to actually have like a straight up like fist fight between Reina and that girl. I would have loved to have seen that, but we got a lot of Reina cuteness in the episode. Like, we had Kumiko chasing after her, expecting her to be like all depressed or whatever, but instead Reina just has like her battle cry and all that, eventually leading to a very nice intimate hug. So I can't complain too much about the scene. And then we had some alone time together afterwards. Although that kind of went downhill when she started to talk about her feelings towards Sensei. And that was kind of a concern I had. I was a little bit worried. I'm not going to let it ruin my ship. Like, he's a teacher, he's a lot older than she is. I'm sure that's not going to go anywhere. So I'm not too worried about that, like, as far as like crashing my ship goes. But, you know, it's unfortunate. But still, it's a very cute scene overall. Like, especially like the bit where she like yeah, also Kumiko called her cute. That was nice. Of course, we got some blushing from Reina, and she said the line again about, you know, seikaku warui, like bad personality, or you're terrible, as it was translated. But I like the more than that, I like the actual physical action she did there, where she just like laid down, because it almost was reminiscent of like a couple that are sleeping in bed together, and then they have a little bit of a, not like a super fight, but like a, you kind of miffed me off a little bit fight, and then they like turn over and, you know, put the covers over them. Hopefully you can kind of envision what I'm imagining here, but it really had that kind of vibe to it, just screw you, I'm going back to bed, you know, that kind of thing. So I got a kick out of it on that basis. But yeah, just all the rumors spreading, very, very unpleasant stuff, but still, it wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting, so... But it is definitely a rough situation, for sure. But Sensei did have a solution. He did come up with something. We have a second round of auditions for anyone that couldn't accept the first round results. And Kaori actually did stand up, so she's gonna fight the good fight. I think she's still gonna lose, because it's not as if there's gonna be any real difference in her ability going up, but the format will make it easier for people to accept. That's the point. So I don't expect the actual results to change, but hopefully people will chill as a result of it. So that's probably the only results change I really expect. Reina is special after all. So I think that's about everything I wanted to say on the episode. there's a lot to cover. Like, a lot of characters feeling a lot of things, saying a lot of things, doing a lot of things. Right? I can't really cover it all, but we also had a nice little Asuka scene. We didn't get a whole lot of Asuka this episode, but I liked what we got. It was a good little scene there. But whew, yeah, I feel like I talked a lot in this video, but so that's all I got to say. So if you enjoyed this video, I do hope you click that like button, subscribe, Patreon support, comments, you know, all that kind of stuff. So bye bye.